I can hear you, but you sound like a chipmunk.
Hello and welcome to the Heal Yourself with me, Sarah Dawkins podcast. We share people who've already healed themselves, along with health and wellness tips from myself.
Hello and welcome back. Today my guest is Lisa Everhart, who is a dedicated coach and transformative guide, specialising in helping individuals harness the power of their imagination to manifest their deepest desires. Lisa's profound personal journey of healing includes overcoming alcoholism, substance abuse, liver failure, obesity, depression, and suicidal mindset through the power of I Am, journaling, meditation, and subconscious mind techniques. Lisa has now become a beacon of hope for those wishing to seek lasting change. So welcome, Lisa. Thank you for joining me.
Hello.
Lisa, it's lovely to have you here. You've healed such a lot. You must have gone through some awful things in your life to get to where you were. Would you like to share your own healing with our listeners, what you did and how you healed?
Definitely. So my old story was one that was not serving me. I had a failing liver. I was obesity. I was depressed, suicidal tendencies, which I actually acted upon. I was an alcoholic. Anything that I could get my hands on, I was addicted to. It was a very sad story, to say the least. And when I did take my own life and I ended up in the hospital with a near-death experience, it opened up something inside of me. And from that experience, I was able to take away something positive. And I was really shown who we are and how we work in this experience. And when I came back and came to in the hospital, I still, even after that beautiful experience, I still stayed in that old story, that false story of beliefs, because my mind was programmed to believe that I was unworthy, that I was unloved, and this created the dis-ease within me. It's why my liver was failing. It's why my habits were alcoholic and drug abuse and cigarettes and anything that went along with that identity. It was because of the programming within my mind. I believed from an early age up until that moment in the hospital that I was unworthy, that I was unloved, and it created the depression within me, and that's what created the disease within me. And when I had that realization, why I was the way I was because of the story that I was believing to be true of myself. And when I had that realization, it's like, if I'm believing this story of myself to be true, why can't I believe something else? And when I really went deep in on that and started journaling and started scripting out a new version of myself and really started to believe this new version of myself, things began to change within me. The desire to drink went away. The desire to smoke cigarettes went away. I started wanting to work out and to take better care of myself, to love myself, because I was affirming daily within my writings and within my speech that I was worthy, that I was loved, that I am an expression of love. And the more that I really let these new concepts and these new ideas unfold within me, I saw my liver restored. I saw my kidneys restored. I saw my weight vanish. And today I'm healthy weight. I'm completely healthy. All my organs are properly working. I do not have thoughts of suicide, not even remotely close. I am overjoyed when I wake up in the morning, excited for my day. And it all starts with what we believe to be true of ourselves. Our consciousness and what we're aware of being is what creates the stories that we choose to believe of ourselves. And we really understand that concept that we create the reality in which we live. We actually create the health that we are through our thoughts and beliefs. We take our power back, because if they're just thoughts and beliefs, we also can change those thoughts and beliefs to be something that's serving unto us. Instead of believing that we lack, that we're unworthy and create these diseases within our body, we can create health. we can create the beauty that we deserve to be living.
That's fabulous. And yes, it all starts and it ends with us, doesn't it? It starts with a thought. And we are what we believe that we are. So why not believe that we can be wonderful? So
Yes.
what kind of things did you do in your journal? How did you get to the point where you were able to start looking at your life differently and starting to believe different things?
So it wasn't an easy process at first. Definitely was not, but it has gotten a lot easier now that I've stepped out of that old false story. But in the beginning, I would write down exactly how I'm feeling. And those first few journal entries, they weren't anything to be proud of. But I was able, by writing out how I was feeling in that moment, to identify what, like, the thoughts that were in my mind, why I was feeling the way I was feeling. And when I put the correlation together between what I was feeling to what I was thinking, because I was writing what I was thinking, I understood that the reason I was feeling the way that I was feeling is because I was thinking this way. And so when I had that revelation, I said, okay, well, I'm going to start thinking differently. And I would write love notes. And I know that might sound a little silly, but it worked for me. I started writing love notes to myself and reminding myself how much I loved myself. And then I would speak it in the mirror. Every morning when I woke up, I would affirm in the mirror, I am worthy, I am loved. And I had a whole list of affirmations that I would go through that were relevant to my old state. And it was the opposite of it. So anything that I was thinking that was making me feel negative, I found an affirmation that was the opposite of it, and I affirmed it every morning. And I didn't believe it at first. Like, don't expect to believe it at first. If I would have thought, like, I have to believe this and feel this at first, I would have stopped after a few times of trying. But I knew that my whole life leading up to this moment, I was believing these old thoughts. So if it took this long for me to get to this, it's going to take some time and effort to put in to change it. And when we stand strong in that knowing that we're going to come out on the other end a better person because we're believing better thoughts, you stick with it. You just stick with it. And I did. And after the journaling and after the affirmations, and I started seeing changes, I started to get excited. And then it started to become fun. And I would go in, I became very familiar with the works of Neville Goddard. And I started reading books of Neville Goddard. And that really was a turning point for me. It was just, it opened up so much knowledge within inside of me. And I started using it and applying it in my own life and using revision. I would go into my old memories that did not make me feel good, were lots of the reasons of why I chose to drink and why I choose to use substances. And I would revise these stories. And instead of seeing the people who harmed me as the enemy, I started embracing them and seeing how I could learn from this situation. What could I take away from the situation that would empower me, that would make me feel more whole, instead of viewing it as they were coming and attacking me and coming up against me? When I was able to really harness that power in this technique, that's when true change started taking place in me, because I was shifting my perspective. And when we shift our perspective, we are literally stepping into a new identity in the way that we view the world. And if we're stepping into a new identity in how we view the world, we're also showing up in the world differently. And this was a huge technique that changed my life, was revision. And when I really started applying that daily, uh, I've never really looked back. I can't even put my finger down on the moment where the shift really happened. It was just, I'm just this new person now. I'm healed, I'm healthy, I help people. And it's a beautiful story. And that's all everything is in life, are stories. And I'm just choosing to believe a beautiful one these days.
So I think we all have the power of choice. And most of us don't even know that, don't realize that. And when I was in a dark place, nobody told me I had the power of choice. And I didn't see that I had that power within me to choose different thoughts, to choose different feelings. So I stayed wallowing in that dark depression for a long time because I didn't understand. But yet it sounds so simple that we can just choose to think differently. We can choose to go inside and pull on a happy memory and elevate our mood and choose to find something to be grateful for, whether it's outside or inside. But we always have that choice.
So I wanted to touch on what you mentioned, gratitude. And gratitude is the number one medicine in this world. It is like, it's the easiest way to heal yourself. When you can find gratitude in any situation in your life, you have taken your power back, because we elevate our vibration the moment that we see our experience in the lens of positivity. We're literally shifting our awareness into a positive mindset, and health is in a positive mindset. Health, that is what it, like, gratitude and health go hand in hand. So if you can find gratitude in a situation, you will find health within.
So we can express gratitude for anything, can't we? The ability to cook a meal, have a cup of tea, walk outside, just breathe and have good thoughts. Gratitude, we don't always have to look back at our past and express gratitude for the healing that we've done in ourselves or the healing that we're going to do in the future. There's so much around us in our life that we can express that gratitude for.
Yes, definitely. And when I really started applying gratitude in my day-to-day life, that was another thing that really helped in my healing journey, was when I was able to wake up and find 10 things. I actually kept a gratitude journal, and I kept 10 things every morning I would write down that I was thankful for. And some days in the beginning, it was a little difficult to find things that I was thankful for. And I would just write, I'm thankful for the bed that I get to sleep in. I'm thankful for the roof over my head. I'm thankful for my phone, that I'm able to look up things during the day that will inspire me to stay in a positive mindset. It, it was difficult in the beginning to find things, but the more that I really made myself find 10 things and start my day off in that gratitude mindset, the more that my days would align to gratitude and things to be thankful for showed up in my experience. And my back wouldn't hurt. Um, Headaches wouldn't come. Just the little things that I paid attention to back then were, I had a lot of headaches. I was feeling groggy. My stomach was always hurting. Those things started dissipating when I stayed in a state of gratitude. And that's why I really believe that gratitude is the number one healer that we can really, truly use in our day-to-day life without eating anything else. You could just start there. Starting with gratitude will shift you immediately.
Yes, and it's so simple to do as well, isn't it?
It
And
really
like you
is.
say, it's the little things as well that really are the big things. You know, what
Yeah.
have we got going in our lives that we can express gratitude for? And I'm always, every morning I do express gratitude when I'm walking my dog, and I'm always expressing thank you for all the lessons and blessings in my past, because the hard times have made me who I am today, but so have the good times. You know, we're not who we are if we discount all the struggles we've been through. We've learned something from it. And if we can look at them, as you've said, through the eyes of gratitude, what has this brought me? What has it given me? What have I learned? Rather than looking at it as the trauma that it was, we've gained something from it. But we've also gained compassion and insight as well for ourselves and the people that hurt us.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. At night, I would listen to Ho'oponopono. I don't know if I was saying that correct, but that was something that really helped me to have forgiveness for the people who did bring harm to me in that old false story that I was believing to be true. And when I was able to listen to that in my subconscious, it did something to where when I was in my conscious state, that I was no longer looking for the negative in another. I was then looking for the positive within them. So I really do believe that the Ho'oponopono, listening to that at night, is another great technique to be able to heal and to truly to forgive within the subconscious, because it's one thing to consciously say, I forgive this and I am letting go of this old story and this old belief. But if your subconscious isn't aligned, and if you're not going into the subconscious as well, then, true gain isn't made. So going in consciously and subconsciously with the forgiveness is key. And it helps us to step out of that old story. So we don't believe the old story when we have true forgiveness, because there's no forgiveness really to be had when you're looking for the positive and you're using a gratitude mindset. Because when you're in the state of gratitude, you don't see negative. You only see things to be thankful for.
And the more gratitude we express, the more things we find to have gratitude for. It's like a snowball effect, isn't it?
Yeah,
So, and it
really
helps us to change our story, as you say, because we're continuously looking for things to have gratitude for.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you. Would you be able to, I know you've shared a lot already, but I'm going to ask you if you could share one tip for somebody going through hard times now, to help them on their own healing journey?
Yes, I advise spending at least 3 to 5 minutes a day just quieting your mind and really just connecting to just being. And in this time, if you can do this daily, all the answers that you seek will be given to you. They'll just come in as little ideas, and it will be your guide to how to self-heal, because all the answers truly are within you. And if you can quiet your mind to the story that you're living right now, give space and room for the new story to come in. And then do as I did and just start affirming the beliefs that you want to believe. It all starts with a thought. Start thinking positive things for yourself. Free yourself from that old story. Free yourself from feeling of a lack and unworthiness, because that's what's creating the unhealthiness within you, is those beliefs. And if you can change those beliefs, you can and you will change your health.
That's wonderful. And the other part of that as well, when we speak it and write it down,
Yes,
we're bringing it into our reality. So thank you for
definitely.
that.
Yeah.
And where can people find you, Lisa?
I have a website called The Awareness Shift. It's www.awareness-shift.com. And then I'm also on YouTube and on Facebook as Lisa Everhart.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing your own healing journey with our audience, and thank you for all your wonderful advice.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure.
Thank you for listening. Please share this podcast with anyone who you think will benefit. And can you leave me a review wherever you've listened to it to help me reach more people? Thank you.